Hello, I'm Anna Kinuthia. Welcome to a new episode of the Unwritten Rules Diaries. In every episode, I explore unwritten rules about a certain topic and how they potentially impact happiness levels in our daily life. I hope the insights I'm sharing with you will bring you some more awareness about the unwritten rules that are present in your personal life, so you can create more and more happiness for yourself. A high quality life for you and your loved ones. Great to have you here, and I hope you enjoy this Unwritten Rules Diary. Probably you have also heard several times before, because research has shown it over and over again, that connection with others is super important for us to feel happy. Esther Perel says that the quality of our lives is even determined by the quality of our relationships. So the quality of our relationships determines the quality of our lives. And the top 5 things that make people happy are the feeling someone loves me, the feeling of loving someone, an intimate conversation with a friend, the feeling of real connection with someone, and the 5th, a compliment or signal or appreciation from someone. And things that make people unhappy are the feeling of loneliness, the feeling of being left out or being misunderstood. So yeah, let's face it, our personal ability to create relationships and maintain relationships is quite important. It's such an important skill to create happiness in our lives. So today, let's dive into our personal ability to connect with others and reflect on our unwritten rules, our daily thoughts and behaviors that play a role here. Do our personal unwritten rules make it easier for us to connect with others? Or are we, at times or in certain situations, in our own way? Let's start with defining connection so we are all on the same page. Brené Brown, another widely known scientist, best-selling author, and TED Talk presenter, of whom we are really a big fan at CYC. Brené defines connection as the energy that exists between people when they feel seen, heard, and valued, and when they can give and receive without judgment, and when they derive sustenance and strength from a relationship. It's quite a lot, huh? That's deep. Let's break each of these 3 things down and consider possible unwritten rules that play a role here. Take your time to listen, pause or re-listen, whatever you need to do to shed some lights on your personal unwritten rules related to connection. Let's play around with this a little bit. Oh yeah, and don't get me wrong, I don't think we should want to have a deeper connection in all our relationships. That would just be too intense. It would be great if we all would just have, let's say, a couple of people in our lives that we feel a deeper connection with. Okay, let's go. So the first part of connection, according to Brené Brown's definition, is the energy that exists between people when they feel seen, heard, and valued. So what we can ask ourselves is, do we allow ourselves to be seen and heard by others? Try not to answer this question from your mind, but try to answer it from your heart. Are there people who really see and hear you? The person you are now, not the you of 10 years ago or the image of you that floats around with some people. Are there people who know whom you have become because of living your personal circumstances? To be able to hear and see each other, first of all, there needs to be a social setting in which you have an opportunity to share and ask each other questions. Well, I can tell you, when you get kids, you need to watch out that not all your conversations are about sleep, eat, and other household routines. So the question is, are you at times, not all the time of course, but enough to your personal liking? That's the question. Are you spending enough time in settings in which you can share your things and ask about the other person's personal life? A while ago, I was honored that a friend of mine asked me at the beginning of our evening together, we were just going out for a drink. She asked me, "What do you believe in?" The way she looked at me made me realize she really wanted to know my thoughts about this big topic. Whoa. For me, it had been a while since I got such an open question from someone who really wanted to know my thoughts and convictions. And from that moment, she has grown into a warm neighbor and friend, and I deeply value what she brings to my life: connection. So, back to the question. If we finally find ourselves in a setting in which it's appropriate to share, there is time to share, the next question is, when the setting is right, do we actually share our stuff with the others? Not the superficial updates of life, of what happens when, but our real thoughts and feelings and personal considerations, the dilemmas in our personal lives, life choices, the things we are trying to figure out. When we describe our convictions related to sharing or not sharing our stuff, we are getting a view on our personal unwritten rules around this topic. Maybe you have an opinion about whether you feel your thoughts and feelings are worth to be seen and heard by others. If you feel they're not important, maybe you can stay with that conviction a little bit, because is it working for you? Because if you think your thoughts and feelings do not matter, then you will probably not verbalize them. So then how can you be seen or heard by others? How can you build connection through the first part of Brené Brown's definition of seeing and hearing each other? Let me give you a few example unwritten rules that support hearing and seeing each other, that might help you formulating some of your personal unwritten rules around the topic of connection. Okay, let's go. I'm worthy to be seen and heard. I can listen. I feel I'm able to verbalize my convictions, my personal considerations. I create enough social environment so that I can share others about their view on things. Or I'm always in social situations with a lot of distractions, so where it is not done to ask serious stuff, there's just no time for that. Then the part about being valued. How do you respond when people give you a compliment or value you in another way? Can you receive it? Yeah, that one I'm still learning. My immediate response is to explain why it turned out that way. Like, I kind of want to excuse myself and explain why I'm not that great or always that great. I'm learning to remain quiet, enjoy the moment, and just appreciate and receive the comment. And do you tell others they are valuable? What do you appreciate about the people you would want to have a deep connection with? Or maybe you can mold some of the next unwritten rules to describe your personal situation. The first, okay. It's easy for me to see the beauty in other people. I look for ways to lift the other person up. I practice to express my appreciation. And when it comes to lasting and successful, long-lasting partner relationship, a culture of appreciation is very important. When over the years you grow towards a situation in which you focus on what is not going right in the relationship, the relationship can become at least less smooth. That is what Esther Perel is saying. What is your culture around compliments? Can you mold the following unwritten rules to describe your personal situation? I give compliments to the people who are important to me. I can receive compliments. The second part of connection is the energy that exists between people when they can give and receive without judgment. So let's tackle this one from the other side. What I mean is, so far I've given example unwritten rules which describe the desired situation, the ideal situation. Now let me give you some example unwritten rules which potentially make it very difficult for connection to be part of your life, because there is a lot of judgment and it is non-judgmental behavior that we need to connect with others. Some example unwritten rules. We argue a lot about who is right or wrong in our house. Often it's about who wins and who gives up first. We point out each other's mistakes. Our talks contain a lot of criticism. I use a lot of labels when I talk. When I do something wrong, it's situational or exceptional. When the other person is doing something wrong, I see it as character. Interesting. How I feel about myself is one-on-one related to how well my kids perform or how well I do at work or whatever is applicable. I'm not able to postpone my judgment and ask a question for clarification first. Food for thought, right? Let's now dive into the third part of connection, the energy that exists between people when they derive sustenance and strength from the relationship. How do you often feel after a conversation with certain people in your life? Is it this? I feel energized. I got insights that help me further with certain topics of my life. I feel warm. I feel seen. Let's work on deeper connection with the people around us. I hope that discovering some of your personal unwritten rules around your ability to create connection with others will help you to experience more and more happiness in your life. Catch you later. Ow. If you want more of this, check out our website creatingyourculture.com. Join me next time for a new episode of the Unwritten Rules Diaries. Thank you for listening or watching.